there. Welcome to Chatti Patti, the show where you, yours, and yours truly talk to some incredible creatives and figure out what they're all about. I'm Patti Boo Rae, and today I'm getting on the horn with Rhian Jade. Rhian is a non-binary theatre maker, performance artist, and facilitator from Belfast, living here in Newcastle upon Tyne. They stage everything from comedy to sketches to poetry to full-length plays that sift through the shit to bring love, joy, and wit. Rhian is particularly interested in work that explores identity as a socio-political construct. Their credits include being the artistic director of Rhian Jade Theatre, producers of Geet Northern Show, the artistic director of Soar Slap Theatre, producers of 9 sketch slap shows, directing Fresh Air by Vicky Donahue at the National Theatre just this year, and the creator and performer of Saoirse Self, a show about trans discovery and Irish mythology. They facilitate queer creative spaces through Curious Arts and perform spoken word and poetry across the UK. I'm so excited to sit down with Rhian because for a while, they've just been someone who I'd see around town and admire their haircut. And now we're getting them on the show to hear all about the work they've been doing. So without further ado, operator? Hello, this is Patti Boo Rae. Chatti Patti. Rhian, welcome to Chatti Patti.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Rhian, how do you answer the phone? Feel free to demonstrate.
Well, it depends who's ringing me.
Okay.
So if it's a family member, it's something like this. Wow. But if it's someone I work with, it might be, hello, yes, hiya, how are you? It's very Irish.
That's very chipper.
Yes, yes. Hanging up the phone is more interesting for an Irish person.
Oh, yes, because you can't.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yes. I'm amazed you know this. So the Irish goodbye thing is a complete lie. We can never say goodbye. It goes on forever and ever and ever.
But maybe that's why, if you actually want to leave, you have to do the Irish goodbye, because once you start the process, then it's never ending.
It's 3 hours later.
So you'll just be on the phone. You'll just be on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah. But 3 minutes is what I've got my dad to. It's kind of time-wise, the time that I did it during a show.
Wow.
And he continued, and it was 3 minutes, so I didn't hang up. And he just kept going, bye, take care. All right, see you later now. Take care, love you, bye, love you. And it just went on.
Do you know you were on stage?
He didn't know, not at the time. And then he was, I don't know if he was happy about it or not. He was like, oh, I didn't realize that was a thing. I was like, no, it was phenomenal.
That's incredible.
Really good. He's a good man.
Okay, so I do want to ask, you're from Belfast originally.
Yes.
How did you end up in the Northeast?
I was in Belfast, finished school, and then I decided that I was going to go to England to study.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was 18. I loved to party. And I looked up the best place in England to go for a party for university.
Wow.
And Newcastle was #1 at the time. It was very much the golden Geordie Shore era. So I don't know if you're familiar.
Is that what you wanted?
It was at the time when I was 18.
Yeah, okay.
I feel differently now.
Taste change.
Yep.
There is something for everyone here.
And it's so like home. I'd never been to England before. I'd never been to England before coming over for
Really?
university. Yeah. So I just thought, it's small, it's walkable, everybody's northern, everybody's good crack, it's friendly.
I see the Newcastle-Belfast thing, actually. I never really thought about that, but
Yeah.
it does kind of make sense.
We're both very northern, very
Similar
grassroots. We love our street art, we love our kind of independent underground punk cultures.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of similarities that when I came here, I was like, this is cool, this is like home.
Great live music scene as well.
Yeah,
in both
100%.
places.
We got some trad going on here now as well,
Yes,
which is really
absolutely.
exciting. Got the DIY Keeley, which is really cool,
Mhm.
just like home. So yeah, I loved it. I just came and I was like, I'm gonna stay.
Okay, so this brings me to the first question I ask everyone,
Mhm.
which is, what makes you tick as a creative? Because you have your fingers in a lot of pies, in theater, in comedy, or another way to think of it is, was there something that you saw or an experience that you had in the arts that got those gears turning for you?
I think there was nothing else that ever spoke to me like performance did, even from I was a little kid and it was a school play. And my mum was always like a little director in the primary school that I went to. So I always was, and I wasn't ever given a main part because she didn't believe in nepotism. So I was always like, you know, we did Joseph, I was the brother.
This is the reverse nepotism of your parent being the drama school person. Like you can't earn a main part. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, like no matter how good I was. And I wasn't great, you know, but
well, I don't know. I'll leave that to the critics to decide.
She was constructive in that way.
Sure.
But critical to a little 8-year-old me. But I just absolutely loved it. And I think being non-binary and being trans and always being that. Whenever I was a kid and I got to be a brother in Joseph and I got to be like, well, I was actually Miss Hannigan. So,
it's my dream role. I would love to play everyone, just powers that be are out there.
I would
love to play Miss Hannigan.
I'd pay big money to see it.
Thank
I'm just
you.
saying.
I think I'm a bit young, but God, give me 20 years. So yes.
So I just always had like this real affinity with performing someone else, and I really loved the study of human behavior. I loved what made people laugh and what made people think. And as I got older, I started to look more into kind of self-expression and what that did for society and how we connect as a wider community through these gorgeous shared spaces. And I love community space, but I love those moments where we're all laughing at the same time and those moments where we all take that gasp in at the same time. And to kind of be that puppeteer felt really where I could get power that I didn't have anywhere else in my life. And I feel like I've used that coming through my career, but now to a point of where I want to give everybody else in the room that power. And I feel like that's something that I will always center at for all of my work, whether it's poetry, comedy, theater.
Can you think of an example of a time that you empowered audiences through the work?
Yeah, the piece that moved me most would have been the Big Gay Cabaret we did last year. So I know that that's like further on in my career, but this just really stands out to me. It's not the first time, but it really stands out to me as a big moment where I produced the show. And I was hosting and I was performing in it as well. And it was a cabaret show with lots of different artists. So like Vic was in it. We had some burlesque, we had some comedy, we had some poetry, we had some theater as well. And there was a point at the interval where someone came over to me and the show had just paused and there was everybody was whooping and cheering at the burlesque going on. There were tits out flying everywhere. It was amazing. Absolutely everything you need. And somebody just came over to me as soon as the kind of lights came back on and they went, I've been looking for a safe queer space in Newcastle for 10 years, the 10 years I've been here. And I think I've just found it. And that was a real moment where I was like, everybody felt that. Everybody just felt that moment. And it wasn't even me on stage, but it felt like something that I had put together. It felt like a moment that I had a real role in creating, and that was really beautiful. So I think since then I was going, I can do this, and we do this together, and how beautiful it is to make those moments. So I want to be centered in that, but also not be the point, I guess,
Sure.
Which is very cool.
I think what you were saying earlier about doing theater as a kid is really interesting and something that I used to think about a lot, but haven't thought about lately. And I'm glad you reminded me. The theater kid to trans pipeline is real. And I think that's because for a lot of people, that was the first place that we got to play with different gender expressions in a way that was safe and contained and only exists in this kind of make-believe world where you can explore a possibility that you can't explore in your real life or that you're not ready to explore. So I wonder, what does trans performance mean to you?
I think trans performance is freedom. I think it's the freedom to explore these binaries, but to also bin them off. I think we look a lot at what it means to be trans, and I think all trans people share this one really beautiful thing. And one thing that I actually probably see now as a privilege, I think I maybe saw it as a challenge before, but I now see it as a privilege, and it's the introspective experiment with your identity. We all share this idea of who we get to be, not just who we were born as, who we get to be. And I think trans performance allows that freedom for us to play and to be fun with it and to find joy in it, but to also look at all of the shit that we had to go through and to feel solidarity in that. But then there comes this validation, right? Of like, I can relate to an element of that, or that's not something I've experienced, but I'm inspired by that, or I'm hurt by this too. We kind of get to point at things and go, this is wrong, but we don't have to fix it. We just have to see it And I think that's really beautiful. To me, it's all about freedom, and I'm super interested in finding the joy in that. I think the world is heavy as it is, and I look at all the beautiful trans people that I've had the pleasure to watch perform or to work with, and I'm going, we're not just trans people, you know, that's, we're these gorgeous human beings who have had this opportunity to go, I want to be this, and so I am. And I think that's just gorgeous.
Do you think that trans theater practitioners and performers have a different relationship to bodies in space and like the relationship between the body on stage and the person looking at the body as people who are conscious of being looked at and how they're being read? Do you find that that actually helps you in your work, that knowledge of what it means to read another person and how you can like manipulate signifiers on stage to communicate quite specific things to an audience?
Yeah, I do. And I think there's maybe a non-positive side to it to begin with. I think it's more work for us as like trans makers. It's like an extra level of things that we consider that maybe cis people don't. I was working with a group of trans performers, and they were all kind of 16 to 25. And the amount of them who, when I said, okay, we're gonna take up space, we're gonna put our hands up. So we put our hands right up in the air, and then we bring it down into a cactus, and then we drop, and then you've got your straight back. And the amount of them who were really uncomfortable of just raising their arms is to just even be tall, to take up space, or to, you know, kind of make sure that, you know, okay, let's fill the space, let's spread out. The amount of them who were really uncomfortable about doing that and taking up that space, but just to show that level of vulnerability, I think was like something that we had to work up to, whereas I haven't experienced that in a room of cis performers who are very happy to take up space because they've had their space. We are kind of fighting this, and as a non-binary trans person as well, I feel like sometimes we're fighting this in between to just be justifiably existing, you know? And I think like as performers, that's an extra level of something we have to work through. But also what we're working at is breaking down all that systemic oppression that we don't even realize is on us through gender, you know? And I think that's a really gorgeous thing. When we start to appreciate that, then that work becomes really liberating for the bodies in the room. You're just even watching, you know, oh, okay, well, I want to get up and I want to take up space like that. Or is there a way I can make myself really small, and what does that do to the room? We get to play with those things, which I think is an honor, but also it's work.
Yes.
It is. And it's not always work that we should have to do. It's work that we should want to do.
Yes.
If we want to do it, we can.
I really think it's very impressive that a bunch of trans people came together to organize something on this scale.
But I also said that this is the best dressed group of people I've ever seen in live theater.
It is
across the 2 days.
It is noticeable.
Like everybody just has looked at themselves and they're bringing forward the best fits. You know, we're all like leveling up, which I love.
Here at Chatti Patti, we're dedicated to the lost art of the phone call.
Beautiful.
So, Rhian,
yes,
who are you going to call when you've killed someone and you need to hide the body?
Oh, I think I would call someone like Sherlock Holmes, maybe. Like, I know, fictional character.
Wow, you've really gone right for the big guns.
Yeah, because I'm like, he knows how to look for murderers, so he's going to know how to get rid of a body effectively.
And you don't think he would turn you into the authorities?
I assume that if I was going to murder someone, it would be for a good, justified reason. I'm quite a morally strong person. I feel like he would agree with me.
A morally strong person.
If I was to, you know, make a point.
We'll circle back to that. Okay, who are you going to call when you want a new tattoo?
Oh,
because your tattoos are gorgeous.
Thank you. I got them all when I was very young.
Really?
Yeah. So I haven't got one kind of in the last 5 years.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
Right.
I'm 29 in 2 weeks.
You were saying everyone here at the festival is very well dressed. Also, indeterminate age.
Yes.
Really hard to pin down.
Specifically trans masks.
Oh my God.
We're all getting under 21 bus tickets. And
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
But then sometimes, and this won't happen to you, but sometimes they do just get old.
Yeah.
One day, it just
happens.
The testosterone, it tips, and then you just become old. But it won't happen to you. You have a very youthful complexion. So anyway, if you were going to get a new tattoo,
yes.
Well, also, what would it be, and who would you call?
Oh, great. I would maybe get Jodie Comer to tattoo her face on my lower back. I have a tiger on my top. But how amazing would it be to have like badly drawn Jodie, drawn badly by Jodie?
You think she can't draw?
I don't think she can tattoo.
That's a fair assumption.
I'm not trying to underestimate her at all, but I think that's probably, yeah, fair.
Who are you going to call when you need a date for the red carpet?
Ooh, I want to say Emma Darcy, but I feel like I'm going for the most prevalent non-binary person out there right now by doing that. It feels like cheating.
I don't know. I think if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, sometimes you don't need to look further than
what's right at your door.
Darcy.
Yeah, literally. I would call them up. I'd bring them their Negroni, and we would match cravats because I feel like we would both wear cravats.
Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, that I would love to see.
Me too.
You're quite stylish.
Thank you. So are you.
Thank you. Left a long pause, so we got there in the end.
I was waiting to see what your reaction would be if I didn't say it straight away. And it was genuinely brilliant.
Okay, one more. Let me think. Oh, okay. Who are you going to call when your car breaks down? The lightning is crashing. You're in the middle of nowhere. Mud, cows. You need someone handy and capable.
I think I would call Kirsten Stewart because they're handy and capable in a way that I don't want them to fix my car, but cuddle up with me in the back seat and let's ride out the storm together.
Absolutely.
Literally.
Because I do feel like you could fix the car.
I can easily fix the car.
Not to stereotype, but you have
I'm really good
car
with the car
fixing kind of vibe about you.
Yeah. My family are mechanics, so I grew up
God, great.
under the hood.
So I'll call you.
Yeah, please, anytime.
Great.
I'll fix your car.
I don't drive.
Hey, I can sort you out with the car and then we can bring it down. I can come and fix it.
I actually would love to, because in Texas, you have to drive everywhere.
Yeah.
So I love public transport.
Yes.
But here's what I miss is the car as giant purse. Like I miss just having all of the essentials of my life that come with me wherever I go.
Yes, you're exactly right.
And I still carry a snack and 2 beverages and a change of clothes, but it just means that I'm very heavy laden.
Yes, I like that.
So maybe you could sort me out. I don't know.
A giant purse. Let's talk about it. That sounds great.
Hello, operator. Can you put me through to the next segment?
So you said that if you were a beverage, you would be this.
Yeah.
I've never had it before. Can you tell me about it? I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
It's an energy drink for context.
It is.
I've never actually had an energy drink before.
Okay.
I drink a lot of coffee, which I suppose is a kind of an energy drink.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Well, this is a healthy energy drink, so it doesn't.
Thank God.
It doesn't actually have caffeine in it.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So it's specifically for people who are neurodiverse. So I've got autism and ADHD.
Okay.
So I flag a little bit in the morning, and I need a little pick me up. And this is the Perfect Heads Juicy Peach Energy Drink, Slancha.
Cheers.
And it has a fizz to it that is part of the buzz, which is lovely. This is my second one of these today.
Well, that's quite nice. It's not too sweet.
No, it's like fruity, soft. It's perfect in the morning.
It's like a peach ring.
Yes.
But not too sweet.
Yeah, it's not gonna like give you a cavity straight away.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
But where's the energy come into it? That's what I'm confused about.
There's a long thing on the back of it where the person who's made it has had ADHD and really struggled with caffeine. So if I have any caffeine at all, I will not sleep. Like that's just me. I never sleep anyway. So I'm vibrating until like 4 a.m. So like anything with caffeine in it, can't do. It's not safe for me. But this just gives me that little like pick me up. I don't know what's in it. It's probably some like weird fruity queer blend.
Great.
I'm trusting
Fruity
it.
queer blend.
Yeah.
That's what we'll call the episode.
That's what they put on my tombstone anyway. That's what I've written down. But I think it's really good. It gives you a little lease of life. It's got a fizz in it. I do love a fizzy juice in the morning.
Actually, I was skeptical, but you've won me over.
It's good, right?
Yeah, I'll be having these.
Yeah. Well, so you have to be 16 to buy them, right? And I get ID'd every time.
Oh,
so you're talking about the trans mask, non-aging. I get ID'd every time for it. And a lot of times I'm just like, please give me my fruity peachy drink.
Yeah, but you should enjoy it because some of us have recently stopped being ID'd and I'm nostalgic for it.
Yeah.
I miss it. Every so often I'm like, come on, just for fun.
Yeah.
Just for fun. I brought it with me. I'm ready. Okay, so circling back to directing.
Yes.
Where is your practice going at the moment? Are you conceiving of yourself more as a director?
So I basically worked with Sunderland Empire on a wonderful group called Bright Minds.
Mm-hmm.
And they are a group of young people. It's a youth theatre for young people with autism or different sort of learning needs or access needs. And they are absolutely wonderful and hilarious and brilliant. And I got asked to direct as part of National Theatre's Connections programme a play called Fresh Air by Vicky Donoghue. So we went down to the National Theatre, we spent the weekend there, the director's weekend, got to meet the playwright, got to come up with these ideas, got to kind of curate this and produce this performance. It did a tour around Sunderland and back into Newcastle, people from National Theatre coming up to look at it. And it was a real honor to kind of direct for something that big, but also to empower these young people to take control of their space. You know, people kind of underestimate people with autism or different kind of learning or access needs. And when it came to that performance, they just brought their best game. And it was so impressive, it was amazing. So that was a real honor to be a part of. I've been actively directing throughout my whole career. So I would say over the last 5 years, from shows with a cast of 150 people to
150
to 15. Yep. So we have had like a Theatre Royal, we had 5 stages, so from like 5-year-olds up to 18-year-olds, 150 of them going on the stage. I wrote a version of Hamlet that they all did different bits in, which was amazing. I'm a big Shakespeare freak.
Okay,
Love it.
me too.
Oh, amazing.
Me too.
I spoke in prose for like a year when I was 15 and everybody just thought I was weird. No, I am weird, but in a good way.
That sounds insufferable.
Yeah.
But you were 15 and that's your right.
Yes.
I was insufferable when I was 15.
Right?
Shakespeare.
Yeah, love Shakespeare.
Talk about trans performance.
Yes, right?
Oh my God.
12th Night.
I was in a very intense kind of culty summer Shakespeare residential program in Texas for like my teenage years. And that was like such a gender moment for me, unlocking, like particularly I played Malvolio, and it was like the character that we come up with was this like very kind of effete, like he'd been a dancer. So he like always kind of stood in first position and always would kind of have a little bevel. And it was such a different experience of like moving my body through space on stage.
Yes.
And then after that I played Touchstone.
Yeah.
And that was my first experience of like clown as gender. This like kind of, he exists like outside of the kind of gendered relationships
there,
of the
right?
world. Yes, exactly.
Totally.
And actually, I don't know if I would be doing drag if it weren't for doing Shakespeare.
Yeah. And you're not the only person who has said that to me,
really?
Which I think is amazing. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I've heard that quite a lot. I think for me, it was, so Hamlet is like my dream professional role.
Yeah.
Literally love to do it. Either
I would love to see it.
No, that's got to be my. And I think it's because when I remember I related to it so heavily, that sense of like moral justice that as a neurodiverse trans person I feel for. I always want to stand up for the underdog, but also to thine own self be true. I remember being 15 and I remember reading it first before I'd ever seen it and just being like, what does it mean to be true to yourself? Like, you know, because we lie to ourselves, don't we? And like, we think a lot about it. And I think that's when I remember my dad said something really beautiful. And he was like, I have a sister. And he said, your sister's very black and white. She's yes or no. She's you know, 2 ends of the spectrum. There's right or wrong.
Yeah.
And you are every color in between. You're the what ifs. And that really made, so whenever he said that to me, and he said that to me around the same time, and I thought about it, to thine own self be true. And I think that's where I kind of went, that's where I want my work to be. I want it to be, let's talk about it. Let's think about it. Let's point at things and go, what are we going to do about this? We don't have to have the answers. And Hamlet didn't, right?
Famously.
Yeah, he did not. Yeah, like lots of questions.
He sure thought about it. Yeah.
He was a big thinker.
Absolutely.
And I love that.
Relatable.
Yeah, totally. So I think that was really inspiring for me to kind of have that, oh, well, these gender bends are happening all the time. I saw a beautiful version of Midsummer Night Dream where it was the first act was played by all men and the second act was played by all women. And I was going, this is very interesting, but also, you know, is there a crossover here? Are we going to have, it was, you know, kind of early 2000s in Belfast. So it was not as forward thinking as we might be now.
You know, they were trying something.
Yeah. Hey, it was pushing something there. And I was super interested in that of like, you know, these, ability to gender bend, but he wrote it for that. Like he allowed us to play with these things. And I think that's beautiful. So yeah, if anyone has a Hamlet role going, me guy,
give us a call.
Yeah.
We'll be here.
I'll answer in a really lovely Irish way as well, which is always fun. I'm not heart set on directing. I love doing everything. Yeah. So I love getting on stage. I love reading my lovely little queer poetry sets. I love looking at kind of queer activism. I love looking at the socio-political, you know, where my body is my body and where does that exist? And compared to you and your body and your soul, you know, looking at the bigger picture like that. So I do a lot of performance as well. I produce shows. So I think what I say is I'm a theatre maker. And I think why I want to be a theatre maker and not just an actor or a director is because like a lot of trans people and a lot of trans creatives, I did not grow up seeing anything of myself at all. And anything I did see was either offensive or traumatic.
Yeah.
And I got sick of that narrative very quick. And I didn't, you know, have any frame of reference until I kind of moved to England. And even still, it was 5 years in before I started realizing, oh, there's lots of other things out there that isn't just, you know, Max Sproats was one of my my first performances that I looked and I went, oh, I see myself here. They did a wonderful "Are you a boy or a girl?" Performance. And I was like, oh, am I a boy or a girl? Are we?
Hang on just a second.
Light bulb goes on.
I've never asked myself before.
It was brilliant. Like, and it was always this, I guess these people give me language, right, that I didn't have before. And I love that. And I think any show that I do, I'll often kind of offer it out to other people. So I'm always like, come, we'll make it a cabaret. You can do whatever you want to do. We'll work some stuff together. I think the reason I do that is because I want to make sure that voices are being heard and that representation is being covered. So I don't like to pigeonhole.
Absolutely.
And that's the trans non-binary experience as well, isn't it? I'm like, no.
Oh, I really think it's a superpower to resist categorization and to celebrate multiplicity of interest and skill in a culture that is really obsessed with specialization. But it's also difficult in times of scarcity. Like right now, it's so much easier just to grab the person who doesn't require any thinking about what to do with them. Like, we know who they are, we know what they do, we know, like, they look like this. And so I don't know, do you find that as well?
Yeah. And I think as well, because the stuff that I do all kind of unfunded. I kind of try and fundraise, or, you know, through ticket sales, or, you know, scrimping a little bit back from the last show we did to put on a bigger one. So yeah, development time is something that we often go unpaid for.
Absolutely.
But my big thing, and I think the big thing I've learned throughout this process of working professionally in England, is compassion over competition. And I cannot stress that enough, because I just do not care about where someone is on their kind of career hierarchical scale. You know, you might have won a BAFTA, but I also think that this student who has just come out of, you know, the Northern School of Art has a great idea, you know, and I guess that's the thing of that justice as well, that underdog thing, right? Like, keeps coming back into it. If you've got the will, then I want to make a space for you to perform.
Hello? Oh, I think you must have the wrong number.
So I wanted to ask you, to the justice thing, one thing I always ask people is, what grinds your gears? It could be big.
Yeah.
And I want to liberate you and say that you don't have to say the state of trans rights in this country if you don't want to. Although that's definitely grinding all of our gears at the moment.
Of course.
And also you can say that, but it can be anything.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go niche for this.
Okay, great.
And maybe this is something you might relate to. It's when people do my accent without permission. If I'm going, okay, say this, say something, right? Say something, and they do it, and it's good or bad, brilliant. Okay, I've asked for it.
Yeah.
But when you do it, just back at me when I say, like, oh, well, what's happening? How are you? And they go, oh, well, what's happening? How are you? And I'm literally, there's a little bit of my soul that floats away into space and burns up.
Yeah.
I just can't.
People are squawking at me in American accents all the time. And I do try not to judge, because sometimes I still do the occasional bit of acting, and sometimes I have to try to do a regional accent, and I just judge not, lest you yourself be judged. But I'm like, fair enough if it's for a job. If you're just talking to me, maybe lay off.
Yeah.
How do you feel about accent comments in general? How do you feel about people being like, oh, I love your accent? I feel like Irish people get a lot of like, your accent's so sexy.
Yeah.
What a hot accent.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on that?
So I like that. I like being here, like, so when I go home, I'm not special. Like, whereas when I'm here, I know,
tell me about it.
You know, I'm kind of standing there, and like, you know, maybe there'll be two people talking, and someone will say something to me, and then I'll reply purposefully quite Irish, like, and then and they're like, hello. Oh my God, are you Irish? And I often look up and down, and I'm like, yeah, it's an easy way to flirt or to gauge. Do you
have an explanation for why it's such a sexy accent?
I literally have no idea.
Because I really like Northern in particular.
Yeah.
I'm not speaking for everyone, just speaking for myself. I don't know what it is. I do have a theory, which is that when I first went to uni, it was a different time in my life. I was very involved with the Christian Union. And there were a lot of confused, sexually repressed young men from the north of Ireland.
Yes.
And I think that did something in my brain.
Yeah.
But now I hear it and it like really takes me back.
That's not just limited to the men. We're all very sexually repressed. Like we don't talk about our bodies. We don't talk
Oh my God, Texas too. Maybe that's it too.
Yeah, I think we're all
maybe you're like, oh my God, there's so much going on.
Yeah,
like,
we're full of it, like full of tension all the time.
Maybe that's it.
I actually do think that that's an element of it. I think there's a level of intensity, and also maybe it's a thing of it's got a nice rhythm to it.
That's true.
So we can kind of like rhyme off. A lot of times I'll not even say things. So like I'll just be like, oh, sure, you know how it is, and sure, so it is, and that's what it was like. And I've just said nothing to you there, but it had a nice rhythm to it.
Exactly, and that's why you can't hang up, you can't end a phone call.
Yeah.
You can say nothing for so long.
Yeah.
And that's a skill.
Yeah.
Look, coming from a drag queen, the ability to just get up there and say nothing for 5 minutes and just keep your mouth running is a real gift.
Oh yeah.
And not everyone has that.
No, it's a beautiful thing. My mom's brilliant at doing on the phone, and she goes, "Oh, sure, you know your man. You know your man. Who do you? Oh, your man. Sure, you know him. The one with the quiff. Who? The one who wears the pink shirt." I still have no idea who you're talking about. Oh, sure you do. You know your man. Sure, him anyway. Sure. And then she goes, I'll tell you a story. I haven't a clue she's talking about ever. We're very vague on everything we do as well.
She's like, well, I actually don't care if you know who I'm talking about. I just am going to skip to the part that I want to say. Yeah, like, it's fine.
Hello, can I take a message?
While you're here, I'd like to give people the opportunity to make a confession if there's anything on your heart.
Of something I've done or something I believe?
Excellent question. That is your religious roots showing, I think. No, something you've done.
I went to Glasgow.
A city I love.
Yes, I love Glasgow. It's brilliant. Lots of very hot, attractive masks there.
Okay, what's going on with this?
I don't know.
And I do think this is like kind of a recent development.
Yes, it is.
I'm so glad you noticed because I was back about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is going on?
I was in my element.
Where did they come from?
Liverpool's got the femmes. That's absolutely great.
Really?
Yeah. Glasgow's got the masks.
I'm glad it's not just me.
Uncanny. No.
Anyway, carry on. You were in Glasgow.
It was very good. Me and my buddies went out. We obviously went to Polo Lounge because where else are you going to end up at
classic
2 a.m. on a Tuesday night?
Nowhere.
Literally, why would you even bother? We're hanging out with these people. I found myself a lovely little mask. Went back to my friend's house after, and then I accidentally went to bed with the wrong mask. And woke up and it had been my best friend, but it was very dark. We were all very drunk. And I woke up cuddling the wrong mask. So I'm sorry to my friends who were there.
No, I'm sorry. I really need to. So you went back to your friend's flat
with a convoy of queers,
some of whom you arrived with.
Yes.
Some of whom you picked up at Polo.
Yes.
So the person you met at Polo also came back.
Yes. But
where did they end up?
Well, they ended up in a room with my other friends.
Sure.
But we were meant to stay in a room together.
Sure.
So there were a couple of different bedrooms, and then there was like some sofa beds.
Sure.
So I was meant to be in a room, and I had the room to myself. So they were like, you're cool to bring people back or whatever. I was like, great. So we all came back. I knew where I was going. I was thinking, me and you, we're gonna have a great night. Playing Uno and whatever, not the masks do in the bedrooms together. All I remember is brushing my teeth with the mask who I had met that evening. I remember us brushing our teeth together. I remember coming out of the bathroom and into the bedroom, and I woke up wearing very little with my best friend.
And somebody made a switch.
Somewhere along the line.
Oh,
but nobody... So me and my mate were like, right, okay, well, we'll obviously never tell anyone about this. And we're like, no, this is between us. This is all good.
Now here you are on a podcast.
I haven't named them. And I will not.
That's true.
But they know who they are. And then the other mask, when they got up, they were like, "Oh, what happened last night? We brushed our teeth, and then did you just fall asleep?" I was like,
"Yeah,
sorry."
It was dark. All you could see was the glint of a neck chain, the little
literally
sleeve of a t-shirt,
jingle of a carabiner.
Yeah. It's very easy to do.
We all had the same haircut as well.
Exactly.
Like all four of us. Like so, there was others as well. We all had the same haircut. So I reckon it could have just been a tap in, tap out situation. I remember very little, and we had about 45 minutes to get to the train station to come back down to Newcastle. I'd work the next day, obviously. Not a lot of sleep. So I was very hungover.
Oh my God.
I got a Greg's steak bake and sobbed gently in the train home.
Sobbed?
Yeah, it was just
From being hungover or just
Yeah.
from the emotional turmoil of it all?
maybe the excitement of it all. It was all a
Sure.
lot.
Yeah.
I did enjoy the scenario. I was like, oh my God, this has never happened to me before. I've never woke up beside someone
You're
that
like,
I
wait,
didn't fall asleep with.
am I in a sitcom?
Yeah, I was like, I'm definitely the drama here.
Yeah.
So I was in a 3-year relationship and I'd only been single for 2 months. So I think this was
Wow.
I'm here, I'm queer, I'm ready to party.
That's a very important step.
And I'm glad it was with my best bud. And we don't talk about it, but there is often a moment when we're out together of like,
That was a great confession.
thank you.
Wow, thank you for sharing.
Hello? Just one moment, please.
What are you proudest of, artistically in particular?
I've been thinking about this a lot. I had a really hard time when I was younger with my mental health. And I think my artistic journey, what I'm most proud of is space that I've been taking. So getting up and doing my poetry sets for, like, I did one the other day for Northern Pride, a 15-minute long set that's paid, you know. Also setting up my own company, so Rhian Jade Theatre, and directing for National Theatre, working at Sunderland Empire, Newcastle Theatre Royal, working at Live, being in shows that have went before, massive mental health NHS services, conferences, Geet Northern show, bringing together, you know, a lot of LGBTQIA plus people and creating work that is just fun.
Describe Geet Northern just briefly.
Yes, Geet Northern show, an all Flinta big gay cabaret.
Uh-huh.
And it's got everything in it: comedy, theatre, burlesque, music, and it's silly, but it takes a piss out of the Graham Norton show.
Great.
So I'm Geet Northern, obviously, your host.
Oh my God, I can really see that.
It's really good. And
Excellent
I
casting.
go very mask with that. And I'm just in like completely
Graham
obsessed
Norton,
with being tall.
Famously the most masculine personality on television.
Yes. Yeah. So I have a little bit of his campness, but then it all very much comes down. And I talk with a very deep voice whenever I do it.
Great.
It's great. But he's obsessed with being tall because north means up, right? Like when someone says, "Oh, go north," I'm like, oh, "How do I get right?" So like, Geet Northern is really good. But yeah, I think making these platforms for these wonderful people to come together and make work, but being a part of that and, you know, getting money for it. It's like, I can't believe that we're at this point now where, yeah, I'm working professionally at like such a big scale, which is so beautiful.
And where can people keep abreast of your work? What's the best way to stay up to date?
Well, I've got a website that's being reworked at the minute, but Geet Northern Theatre is on Instagram, so I would love if people check that out.
G-E-E-T.
Geet
Theatre.
Yes, exactly. Right. Theatre is R-E, not E-R, because I know a lot of people are spelling that wrong out there, and that's absolutely fine. But
who?
Just to help you out. Yeah.
Americans.
No, like genuinely, a lot of people like just theatre grammar as well.
I'm sorry, it's our fault.
Yeah, you guys are
cultural imperialism. I don't take responsibility.
I actually think it's like laptops, because laptops are all like translate to English, and I'm like, but I wrote it in English. I don't understand what.
This is English.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, Geet Northern Theatre.
Geet Northern Theatre, and that's where I post all my Rhian Jade Theatre stuff. So any sort of like freelancing stuff I'm doing, any performances I'm doing. So all my shows are kind of on along there. And then my other company, Source Lab, is a part of that too. So if you want to keep up to date with my work, it's Geet Northern Theatre. I tag everything that I'm up to on there.
Perfect.
So you got me.
Thank you so much for coming on the show, Rhian. It's just been such a treat. We've like orbited each other for a while, but we've never actually gotten to like sit down and have a chat.
It's such an honor. That was anything to get close to you. I was like, yes, I'll do it.
Oh, it's been so nice getting to know you a bit.
It's a pleasure.
I suppose now that we're reaching the end, there's only one question left to ask. Rhian, can I have your number?
I literally want to just come and sit in your knee. So you can absolutely have my number.
Okay, great.
07.
Well, don't call us. I'll call you.
Yes.
And I will be calling you because we need to have another chat.
Yes, please. Let's do it. Let's hang out. Thank you.
Darling. Have fun at the festival.
Thank you. I will. I'm going to love it. This has been such a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And my lovely little juice came in this lovely little teapot.
I actually loved it.
It's really good,
really
right?
Nice.
It's really good. And like, see if you just drink it straight from the can, it's got like it probably punches in the face. The kick is really nice. Strong.
I might go get another one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need a little.
Keeps me lit all day. Like.
Pick me up.
Yeah. Well, hey, you want me to go grab you one? Because I will.
I have your number now, so I'll text you.
Yeah.
Chatti Patti is a podcast from Curious Arts and Patti Boo Productions. This is a special series from the Trans Performance Now Festival, hosted here in Newcastle with collaboration from Northumbria University, Curious Arts, and Live Theatre. You can follow Curious at Curious_Arts and me at Patti Boo Rae. If you'd like to support your trans friends at this difficult time, you might consider donating to someone's gender-affirming care fundraiser. For example, the Big Gay Fund here in Newcastle always has an auction, a raffle, or some other wonderful mutual aid happening. Bye now.
Chatti Patti.